Hello friends, welcome back. This is Amit from Magnet, and today we are going to create a nice looking title design for Element 3D. So first take a look what we are going to create. So for this scene we need a background video. So for this I'm using this video, and you can use any video you want, and if you don't have any video I will give this video in the description, so you will get this from there. And we need Element 3D of course, and some elements that I am using from Video Copilot Action Essential, and I am using this dust wave for this, and a ground crack PNG image. I also use this for making the ground crack. When the letter hits the ground it will cracks. So we create this effect by using that PNG image, and you can see that crack is growing by over time, so that look nice. So that will be awesome tutorial, so let's get started. So before I start, I have to thanks to all of you guys for supporting me, and if you're new to this channel please go and check my other videos, and if you like those videos please do subscribe this channel. Okay, so in order to recreate this scene we need a video footage. So in this case I am using this video, and if you don't have any you can use your own videos, and or if you don't have any video footage right now you can use this video for your own, and I have also give this videos link in the description, so you will get this from there. And I have already tracked this footage, and if you don't know how to track this you will that is very simple, because you just go over here and you will find the tracker, and if you don't find tracker option here you just go to the window and make sure that the tracker is checked, and you will find the tracker option here, and just click on the track camera and it will initiate the automatic tracking for your footage. So after you track your footage you will find you will notice that there are so many tracking markers appears. So by selecting those tracking marker we can create our camera for this scene. So that is very important to choose a right camera tracking point. So for this scene I am choosing this one, and maybe go over here and this one, and go over here and choose that one. So by selecting the three tracking marker we can make a coordinate here, and then we just right click and click on this option, that is the create solid and camera. Just click on that and it will automatically create a camera for the scene and a solid, because we select the solid and the camera. So now we have to normalize our tracking data. So for this I am using a third-party plugin, that is the Orient World, and that is very simple. We just click on the solid that we just created and click on apply, and it will automatically normalize the all tracking data. Okay, so nothing will change, but when we import any 3D object it will appear in the middle of our scene here. So that is very important for tracking any live action footage. So our tracking is done, and we also normalize our tracking data. So now we create a solid, and in this solid we are going to apply element. So name it element and hit OK. So before we apply element effect here we have to make our text layer here. So you can click on the text T option here, that is the text layer, and just click on that, and we can write maybe text for this tutorial, and you can write your own title here, and just scale it up, and then we change the color to white, and maybe scale it up a little bit more, and then choose any font here. So maybe for this maybe that one look nice. So that is the AR strike, and if you don't have this font I also give this font link in the description, so you will get it from there. So now we put our text layer at the bottom and just uncheck the I button here and go to the element solid, and we're going over the effect and presets. and under the video copilot select element, and now we assign this text layer to the custom text layer here, so we can extrude this text. So just select this and go to the scene setup. Okay, so here we are in element 3D. So first we need a ground plane. So go to the create and make a solid here and scale it up, and we just drag it out from the group and place it to group number 5. So now hit OK. So now we delete this solid that we just create earlier because we don't need this anymore. So just delete this and go to the element layer and go to the group number 5, and now we create a null object for this plate. So now go to the null object and press S to bring the scale value, and now uncheck this link button here, and now just increase the Z axis scale. Now go to the element layer and go to the group number 5, and here we find under particle look option, that is the particle rotation, and now we just rotate the Y axis value here like this, and we also increase the X axis value. Okay, so now we press P to bring the position value, and now we reposition this. Okay, and we also increase the X axis value as well, and also the Z axis value. And now we go to the element layer, and now go to the render setting and go to the camera cutoff, and here you can find the camera far plane. Just increase it so we can see the far distance. Okay, so we need this solid to cast the shadow. So but we have to make this layer to as transparent, so we go to the scene setup again, and we apply a material, that is the matte shadow material. So here is the default matte shadow material inside this physics tab. So just click and drag to the uh, solid here, I mean the plane here, and if you not find this, that is very simple. So to make this material, so just select the plane material here and go to the settings tab, and here you can find the matte shadow option. Just enable this and it will make the same job as the applying this material here. Okay, so now we create our text for our scene. So we already apply our text to assign to the text layer, and now just click on extrude and it will create this text. Okay, so our text layer is on the group number 1, and now we go to the alignment option. We select this to change from model center to the bottom. Okay, so that look nice, and we can go to the bevel option here and increase the extrusion little bit, and also we decrease the bevel size here like this. Okay, so that look nice. So now we have to texture it. So go to the pro shader. I am using pro shader concrete, and maybe use this one. Okay, and now we select the model here and go to the UV map value and increase the UV repeat option to maybe 10 by 10, and you can use another texture as you want. Okay, so now hit OK. So that is our text, and now we going to create a null object for our text too. So go to the group number 1 and create the null object, and now we select the null object for the group number 1 and press S, and now increase the scale. Okay, so now you can see that our text is stick to the ground, and the tracking result is quite nice, so that is why that looks so nice. And now we also rotate this. So group number 1 and the particle loop option here, and go to the particle rotation and rotate the y-axis value. Okay, so you can see the tracking is so nicely done. Okay, so now we do some environment for our element 3D layer. So for this I am using a screenshot for our background footage. So that is this one. I just make a screenshot for the scene. So I am going to use this screenshot as our environment. So first we click on that and bring it to our composition here and uncheck the I button and go to the element layer, and then we go to the again the custom texture layer here, and now we assign this image to the custom texture map here. So go to the layer number 1 and select this environment. Okay, so now we go to the scene setup again, and then we go to the environment and select this custom layer 1. Okay, so now you can see our image is assigned as their environment. Okay, so you can also change the environment position by pressing hold shift and click and drag to change the position. Okay, so uncheck this for now. So that is our text, and element 3D work is almost done, but we need our letter to separate so we can animate our letter individually. So to create this, that is very simple. So select the extrusion model here, and instead of view this option here, we use the mesh view here. So select this, and that will show the individual particles for our text, that is the individual letter. Okay, so now we assign these letters to different auxiliary animation channel. So just right click on this and go to the auxiliary animation and select the channel number 1, and so on, channel number 2, and then channel number 3, and then channel number 4. So now we can individually animate our tail letters. Okay, so that is really good technique to animate the individual letters. So now hit OK. So before we animate our scene, we have to make some light. Okay, so for this I'm going to layer new light, and I'm using a spotlight for this, and maybe the light color to something like this, and now hit OK and make sure that you check the cast shadow. And you can, but for the initial setting we set the shadow diffusion to maybe 1000, and the shadow darkness maybe 500. Good, and now hit OK. So that is the light we just create, and now select the spotlight and press P to bring the position value, and now we place our light as our desired position. Okay, so set it, and that is all depends on your background plane, background videos. So the lighting should be same as your video footage, so that look nice. And maybe we press T to bring the intensity, maybe we decrease the intensity. Okay, so the best way to set up your light, we need to turn on the shadow for our scene. So go to the render setting here and go to the shadow option here and just enable this. Okay, but as you can see, when we use the shadow mapping option here, the entire scene is going to black. So instead of using the shadow mapping, we use the ray traced. Okay, so now you can see our scene create a nice shadow, but you can see there are so many grain here, so we need to increase the shadow sample here. But no, we not increase the shadow sample right now because it will heavy the scene. So for this we going to the spotlight and go to the light of settings here, and we decrease the shadow diffusion for this right now, and we can change it later on. So now hit OK. So again go to the spotlight and change the position by pressing P to bring the position value, and you can change the light position as you want. So as you can see, the in the tree, that the shadow created by this tree, the shadow is this direction, so we can match this shadow with our text shadow. So then we just change the light position like this, and it look nice for this. So now go to the element layer again, and our shadow is bit dark, so we have to decrease the darkness here. So there is an option called matte shadow. Go over here and decrease the shadow opacity. Okay, so that look nice for this. Okay, so now we go to the spotlight here, and then we go to the light setting, and now we can increase the shadow diffusion. Okay, so something like this, and now hit OK. And now we go to the element layer again, and there is an option called ray traced shadow samples. So just increase this. Okay, and you can see that going to be looking nice. Okay, so more the value, that look nice, but remember that that will heavy your render as well. So that look nice for now. And now we are going to apply the ambient occlusion. So if we just enable this, that look nice, but instead of using the SSAO, we are going to use the ray traced. So just apply, and you can see that look create a nice ambient occlusion, that is the contact shadow. But we need to change some settings here. So we first we decrease the intensity, and then we go to the ray traced ambient occlusion max distance, we just increase it. Okay, and you can also increase the sample for this. So you can increase this, so that will look nice, but make sure that it will also heavy your render. So I recommend that you can first we set up our scene, and before and when we all ready and we are ready to render, then we can change those samples. Okay, so for this we just reset the values, and also here we reset the values, and also go to the ray trace shadow and also reset the values. So and we again go to the spotlight option and go to the settings, and we can make it 10 for now. Okay, so that is our scene, and now we going to animate our text. Okay, so now we go to the element layer, and we go to the group number 1, and then we go to the auxiliary channels. So that is the fun part. So now we go to the channel 1 position, and you can see you can individually animate our individual letters. So you can make a animation like your text is pop up from the ground and just appear here. That also look nice. And maybe we can set the resolution to half here, and if you want you can do this as well. So maybe we first we make a keyframe here, and then go over few frames, and then we make this animation, and then go few frame, and then we drop our letter by reset the value, and then few frame, and maybe we can make that our letter is bounce, and then few frame, and then reset. Okay, and now press U to bring the all keyframes, and now we make it easy is by pressing F9, and you can see the RAM preview here. Okay, so that look nice and that is so funny, and you can make that kind of animation also by using this technique. Okay, so that look nice, but that is so weird that something pop up from the ground and the ground is stay intact. So you can do this as well. So now we go to our actual tutorial. So first we reset this, and then we make the full size. Maybe we make it 10 frame here and trim the comp area. Okay, and now we go to the group number 1, and maybe we place our text over right position like this. And so first we start from that letter, that is the T, and go to the element layer and go to the group number 4 that holds the T. Okay, so first we place our T there and go few frame, make a keyframe here, and then go few frame and then reset the value. Okay, so like this, and press U to bring the keyframes, and then few frame we make the value to maybe -0.04, and then again few frame we reset that. Okay, so now we make this too easy is by pressing F9. Let's see how it look like. Okay, so you can also slow your animation by selecting all the keyframes and press Alt, and now select the end keyframe here and just drag it. So by this you can slow down your animation. So that is all depends on you how you want, slow or fast. So that look nice, I guess. So now we do the same for the rest of the letters. So for this we just copy the values. So press select the all keyframes and press Ctrl C to copy the all values, and then we go to the channel number 3, and then we go to the position, and then we copy the paste the all values that we just copied here. So press Ctrl V. Okay, so now you can see the same value that also apply for the next letter as well. So now you can do the same for the E, but as you can see in my preview video, I place one letter as the same as its position from the beginning. So you can do this, or you can also animate that letter if you want. So for now we also animate the letter as well. So go to the group number 2 and go to the position, and then there is the also for the position value for the E. So we also paste the value here as well. So you can see the E also animate, but we can change the timing so that not look like as same as the X. And you can also also change the bounce for your letters, that maybe that one bounce little bit more. So you can also do that by change the values here, or you can make that bounce multiple times. So you can also change the position and then also reset it. so make that bounce a little bit more like this. So that all depends on you. So and then we do this for the text number one, that is the T. So we copy the all keyframes here by Ctrl C, and then we go to the auxiliary channel number one and then go to the Y position, so that animate the T. So we just paste these values here as well, and we can change the position. So let's see how it look like now. So make a RAM preview here. Okay, so maybe we can change the animation for the T to make it different, not same as the E. Okay, so that look nice. So that is the text animation we just created. So you can slow down your all the animation by selecting all the keyframes here. Maybe we select all the keyframes and then we press alt and hold it, and now click on the last keyframe and we increase the time here like this, and let's see how the speed. Okay, that slow down the total animation. Okay, so that look nice, and it's all depends on you how you want your animation will be. So our text animation is done, and that is the fun part that we just make here. So now the next step is make it more realistic, that is we put some elements to make it look nice, that is the smoke elements and then the ground crack. So that will also give this video to its next level. So for this we going to use that dust wave. Okay, so that is nice, and so for this we are going to bring this to this composition here, and first we make it 3D, but before we make it 3D we need to change the anchor point. So first we select our footage here and then select the pen behind tool, and now we place the anchor point at the bottom. Okay, so now we make this layer to 3D, and then we press AA to disable the accept light options here, so just turn it off, and now we place it at the position here, that is when the T, that letter hits the ground, the smoke will appear at the same time. Okay, so for this we place this smoke to the same position for this letter. So for this we are going to element and then go to the effect control, and now we make a null object to identify the exact position. For this we go to the utilities, and here is an option called generate 3D position by selecting the 2D position. So first select this and select that position here and then generate. Okay, it will generate a null object that holds the same position for this exact the same position in 2D space. So press P to bring the position value, and then also select the dust element here and press P as well. So now we copy the value and paste it here. Okay, so as you can see the dust wave is placed at the right position here. Okay, so now we don't need this null object here, so delete this, and then we go to the dust element here and press S. Now we increase the scale. Okay, so first we identify the time when the T hits the ground, so that is the time, and now we make the start point of the dust element here like this. Okay, so but as you can see, the initial speed of the dust element is not so fast, so we have to remap the timeline for the dust wave. So by selecting the dust wave, press right click, go to the time, and there is option called enable time remapping, so select that one, and now go few frame here. Okay, and make a keyframe here, and then go to the very end. Maybe we change the timeline here and like this, and make a keyframe here, and now we select the two keyframes and make it closer like this. Okay, so now again let's see when our letter hits the ground at that time, and now we initiate the smoke. Okay, so let's see how it look like. Okay, so as you can see, when it hits the ground, the smoke pops up, and we can also close the keyframes. So initial hit is look quick, so it match the scene as well. Okay, so now you can see our smoke is also appear at the front of the next letter, so we have to fix this. But before we do this, you can see there is a hard edge showing here, so we have to fix this as well. So select the dust web layer and select the rectangle mask tool and just double click on that, and now go to the mask option here and decrease the mask expansion and increase the mask feather like this. So in that way you can see there is no such hard edge. Okay, so there is also a hard edge, so you can also can fix this by increase the mask feather. Okay, so now you can see that look nice. Okay, so now but we also see the smoke uh, overlap the X letter as well, so we have to fix this. So now we select our element layer and duplicate this. Okay, and place it above the dust wave here, and then we go to the element layer, and then we go to the output, and now go to the world position. Okay, so now we increase the Z mat value like this, and then we select our dust web layer and toggle the switch here, and then we select the alpha matte inverted because our luminance part is the front side and the back side is black, so we want our dust web to follow the black layer, black areas, so just make it luma matte inverted. Okay, so in that way you can see our dust is behind that letter. Okay, so as you can see the dust is behind the X. Okay, so that look nice. So now we create some ground cracking effect here. So for this I am using that ground crack footage as we mentioned earlier. So you can also download this image from the description link, so just bring it here, and as you can see that look nice already. I mean not nice, but we can make it right. So just select that and place underneath the element layer. Okay, and now we change its blending mode to maybe multiply. Okay, so that look nice already, but we have to change it little bit to make it right. So select that, and first we place this to the right position. So first we make it 3D as well. Okay, and now we press A again off the accept light. Okay, and we also place it at the same position here. So first we select the dust wave and press P to copy the position value, and then go back to the ground crack and press P again and paste the values. Okay, so you can see our ground crack is placed at the same position here. So now we press S to bring the scale value and increase the scale. Okay, so but we also animate it over time. So when it hits the ground, it will crack the ground. So here you can place it here, and we make a mask for this. So select the mask tool and press Q to toggle the ellipse mask tool here. And first we uncheck our element layer again here, and then we make a mask here. Okay, like this. And now we go to the mask option here, and there is the option called mask expansion. Make a keyframe here and then go few frame, and we increase the mask expansion like this. Okay, so you can see the crack is growing over time, and we also increase the feather. Okay, like this. You can see the crack is growing over time, and that look nice. So if we enable the element layer again, and you can see when it hits the ground, the crack is happening. Okay, so maybe we decrease the feather amount, and we also go to the ground crack because it looked too dark, and so we have to fix this. So select the ground crack and go to the effect and go to the color correction and go to the tint, and then we select this to white, and we decrease the tint amount. Okay, so that look nice. So let's see how it look like, but our animation is too slow, so we have to make it fast. So press U after selecting the ground crack, and then we select this, and maybe we right click on this and go to the keyframe assistant and make it easy in. Okay, oh wow, that look nice. Maybe we ramp to this. No, that look nice. Okay, so that is the trick for the scene. So you can now understand how to make this kind of animation, and you can also do the same for the rest of the letters. So that is also easy because we already make all the adjustment for the dust and the ground crack, and you just have to do one thing, that is just duplicate this and make a null object, or make a null object to identify the position, and just copy the position value to the all the elements, that is the ground crack and the dust wave. And you can also increase the size to make it different, or maybe go to the ground crack and then right click on that and go to the transform and flip it to horizontal, so make it different looking ground crack. So that is easy to do this. So I'm not going to do the all the steps because it will really increase the length of the tutorial. So I think you got the idea and how to do this. So after you doing all the things, you just enable the motion blur switch. So go to the render setting here and go to the motion blur switch and enable this. so it will make a nice motion blur. But as you can see, the sample count is very less, so you can increase the sample count. So maybe we increase it to maybe 25 or so. So as you can see, that look nice for now. And you can also first we turn off this, and you can also increase the spotlight. First we select the spotlight and go to the spotlight settings and increase the diffusion to maybe 3000, and now hit OK. And then we go to the element layer and go to the shadow and increase the sampling, so make it soft shadow. And then we also go to the ray traced ambient occlusion switch here and increase the max distance. Okay, and also increase the sampling. And then you can also go to the output and you can check this enhance multi-sampling switch here to make a nice quality render for the text. And lastly, we do one thing, that go to the camera and press AA and enable the depth of field. So you can also adjust the depth of field for the scene like this. Okay, and then last, before we render, we make sure that we check the motion blur switch. Okay, so after doing all the settings for the rest of the letter, you will definitely get a nice looking result. So that is for today's tutorial, and I think this tutorial going to be long, so I'm not doing the rest of the things. So if you don't mind, you can do this by your own. So that is very simple, and I'll show you and I already show you how to do this. So let's consider this here. So I hope you like this, and if you like this, please go and check my other videos, and if you like those videos, please do subscribe this channel. And I really said it twice for this tutorial, so I hope you already do. And if you not subscribed this yet, please do subscribe this channel, because I really do hard work to make a quality content, to create a quality content for you guys. So I hope you like this, and we'll see in the next video. So till then, take care and bye bye.